I'm so tired of white cis women being more dedicated to being called a healer than actually doing the work to be a healer. The only thing that you're worried about healing is your bruised ego and being confronted with your complacency in genocide and your obsession with upholding privilege. We do not need more nice white women. Are you kidding me? And stop asking marginalized people to do the work for you because you don't feel comfortable with it. I am so tired of having conversations with white cis women where they're more upset about the fact that they're being called in or called out than the fact that they're harming marginalized people. The fact that there is literal genocide that they are paying for with the fucking advertisements that they're putting all over Instagram. And these are the same women that are the first to minimize the impact of social media and also the first to use social media as their business opportunity, to use their voice, to create their community. So why is it that when in your mode of healing and community and business, why the fuck is liberation not being centered? Y'all are stealing resources and precious energy and precious time from marginalized people because you are not willing to do it yourself. It's pathetic and it's privileged as fuck. You have so much power. Stop pretending that you can play small and get away with it. Step it the fuck up. Your comfort is not a priority here at all. I'm so tired of white cis women being more dedicated to being called a healer.
The reaction to this video has proven every single thing that I have ever known about white liberals to be completely true. So they're talking about a very real thing that I've seen many times. And if you followed me on my YouTube channel, you've heard me talk about it, right? This thing that happens where someone becomes more interested in being seen as an ally or on the right side of things than they actually are in living in a way where their politics are not reinforcing the very thing they're trying to advocate against. There's a reason why they're mentioning genocide, because there are so many white activist liberal women who spend all of this time advocating against isms and racism, and they love getting all of the accolades from being seen as one of the good ones who is actually down for the cause. But when it comes to opposing genocide, right, suddenly now there's a line drawn in the sand and they don't want to be seen as rude or mean or disruptive. I'm gonna just level with you for a second. We need rude, mean, and disruptive white women. We need rude, mean, and disruptive white people in general, because my politeness will always be read as anger, as arrogance, as, ego. There are so many times where people treat me speaking about the things that I go through like I am somebody who thinks too highly of myself. And yes, there is a different response to me having that conversation and other people having that conversation. I've talked about that many times on my YouTube channel. I think it is really telling if you watched that video and didn't understand it, because to me, that tells me that you haven't in any meaningful way had community with Black women who have been saying the same exact thing. There's something so fascinating to me about this brand of sort of left-leaning ideology that somehow completely excludes racism from its understanding of the way the world works, right? There's something really interesting to me about that. And if you were at all interested in understanding race in America, which is the context which this conversation is happening, this would not be a surprising conversation to you. This would be something that you've heard said over and over and over again by Black women who do community organizing work, who have to deal with these white women. I just want to say one thing to white women collectively. The problem is that some of you guys don't actually believe in this shit. You are just supporting this stuff because you know it makes you look like a good person. That's the shit that people are talking about. Because we are shocked when you've spent all of this time trying to draw attention to all of these causes, and then when it comes time to oppose genocide, suddenly you pause. Like, that's suspicious. It's weird. And I think some white women feel like they've been pressured to support things that they don't support. In all reality, they've been pressured to be anti-racist. They've been pressured to be, not bigoted in some way. And I think for some white women, that is like, they would rather be bigoted. They would rather do that. They don't want the negative image that comes with it, but they would rather hold on to those beliefs, so they become resentful when people point out that the way that you're living and the way that you're acting is in contradiction to that, right? Because that's the only thing that makes sense. That is the only thing that makes sense to me. You don't have to support shit that you don't actually believe in. And I think if more people actually supported what they believed in, stood by what they believed in, really believed in, not believed in and to seem a certain way, we would have these conversations a lot less. Don't put yourself in a situation where people are going to expect for you to show up for something when you don't actually support it.